Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews. Today, thanks to INFINITI of Nashua, we have the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro LT1. So, let's take a look at the LT1. What is it? Essentially, you take the V6 Camaro, or the base Camaro, and put the motor from the SS in there. So what's the motor from the SS? It's a 6.2 liter, 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque, naturally aspirated V8. Up there screaming away. This specific one is routed through the 10-speed automatic. It's a big motor. It's definitely a big motor, but you can definitely tell there's some room in this platform for the supercharged ZL1 motor. Definitely a very, very fun car. I've heavily enjoyed my time in it. You know, it's a very small opening, but that trunk is pretty deep. There's a lot of room to be had there. We'll talk about the biggest thing I don't like about the new Camaros, and that's the visibility. Every single time I've driven one of these, I've said I can't do the visibility. Well, you know what? The longer I've been in this car, the better it's gotten. Is it the best in the world? Absolutely not. Is it the worst I've ever driven in my life? No, it's not. You know, and you definitely get used to it. Like I said, this one's fitted with the 10-speed automatic. It's kind of a tale of two different transmissions, and you'll kind of see that once we get to going. Lower RPM, it's gonna be lower throttle, lower RPM. It's gonna be a nice smooth transmission. Once you really start getting it up into the upper ranges of this rev counter, it starts to wake up a bit. This one also has the sports exhaust. Right now it's tied into the sport mode. I believe, where is it? Settings, vehicle, driving mode, engine sound. Actually, no, it is just all the way to sport all the time, which is the way I like it. And also everything is in sport. Cool. The screen is tilted towards you. It's a little odd at first, but you kind of realize, oh, the glare from the sun is the reason they did that. So it makes a little bit more sense. Backup camera. This thing's stickered new for just over $40,000. So a relatively basic one. But this kind of takes the muscle car recipe and says, all right, take the cheap performance car, put the big motor in it, and don't charge a ton of money. Ta-da, that's what this thing is. However, this is coming from the owner of a Challenger Hellcat, and I also had a Scat Pack for 3 years. What this Camaro does when the road gets twisty really almost puts this thing in a different class. I've always said the Mustang Camaro are more sports cars than muscle cars. And I think that 100% rings true the more time I spend with this car. It is such a good car to drive. So you can tell on that lower RPM, It's a very smooth shifting automatic. You kind of got a taste there of full RPM shifting. It will absolutely firecracker the upshifts. You know, what is this, the Gen 6 platform? This thing's more European than American, and I can tell that in the driving characteristics. It's way more sports car than muscle car. The Hellcat, yeah, it will get around a corner, but you really have to work for it. This just does it. You know, in the Hellcat, I feel like the car is the limiting characteristic. In this car, I'm the limiting characteristic. I realistically really can't get to this car's limits on the street, whereas the Hellcat, you're always on the limit of that car. Just because the engine, it's so heavy. This car weighs between 3,600 to 3,800 pounds, depending on equipment and everything. The Hellcat is almost a solid 1,000 pounds more. That also means that, yes, it has 717 horsepower, and this has 455, but it really doesn't feel terribly slower. It is slower. And also, you have to think about, in terms of weight, what that does to handling. No matter how hard you try, you're not gonna get away from physics. Physics are always the limiting characteristic until you start to get to, well, even so, you're always working with physics. Even if you have a fan sucking the car to the ground, you're working with physics to make that work. So when you have a car that weighs over 2 tons, getting that thing around a back road takes a lot of effort. This car is a lot more eager to turn in, a lot more eager to kind of get around a corner without saying, I'm gonna kill you. Hello. That was a surprise. I've always said, you know, I've always wanted to spend more time in GM performance cars. You know, CT4V, I haven't driven a Blackwing yet, but the V series, those cars are just really, really fun. They're very unique driving experiences. These 10-speed automatics, including the 9, the 8, when they have the GM performance tunes on them, these upshifts are intoxicating. I don't know how it's gonna come across on camera. I really hope it comes across well, because the snaps with these upshifts, if this car wasn't so loud, I'd be sitting there chasing it all the time. You know, this car's bone stock. The amount of intake noise, the amount of exhaust noise, it is perfect. And you know, from a driver's standpoint, this car is really, really good. And I am thoroughly impressed. This is a car that the more time I spend with it, the more I like it. Oh. So eager to turn in. And this is just the LT1, guys. You know, it's got Brembo brakes from the SS, stuff like that. But you got 2 trim levels higher than this, plus a handling pack. The 1LE packages. This is one hell of a car. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.